Okay, so the last thing I want to do here is show how to include a third-party library because it's a little bit different than how we do it in Eclipse. So the first thing we need is a place to store the library. I'm going to add a jar file, and typically in Eclipse we have a directory called libs, libs for libraries. So if I right-click on main and select new directory, I'll create my libs directory. And here you can see I'm putting it at the same level as my Java code and my resource. And then I can just add files here. I'm going to drag one in from Finder. I've got the, let's see, where are these? Workshop, Parse folder. I downloaded this a little while ago. Oh, that's right. I used it elsewhere. So that's actually one thing I wanted to show you, but I forgot to put it back. So let me go to, where did I download Parse? Unzip it again. I'm just dragging it from here. When you drag the file in, by default, it doesn't copy it, it moves it. So that's what just happened there. I had moved it from the directory and I forgot to put it back. But I'll click OK. Now if I expand the libs directory, there's my parse jar file. But now I can't just use it just yet. It isn't added to the build path automatically. That's something that happens automatically in Eclipse if you've got it configured. So if I try, I'm going to try and use a parse object. It won't even do anything. But just you see that we have an error that we can't find the parse object because the project doesn't know how to get that library pulled in yet. So that's why we need to go back to the build.gradle file. And this is that dependencies section that we were talking about earlier. And to add jar files like that, we need to add a new section, a new compile section. And in this case, we want to compile the entire directory. So we use a command called file tree. And we pass in, and that's under source/libs. And this will give us the parse classes. But this is one of those bugs in the tool. So it's not resolving yet. And if you're looking at this, you might, if you're trying to do this on your own, you might try a bunch of different things. For example, when I was first doing this, I tried to rebuild the project. So this command, build make project, rebuilds the project, but it doesn't run it on an emulator or anything. And if I do this, it's going to tell me what errors I have. And you can see it failed to find the symbol for parse object. So I'm going to show you a command that, for now at least, can be your best friend. It can save you a little bit of headaches. If you go to the File menu for Android Studio, there is an option to invalidate caches and restart. So if I click on that, what this does, basically the problem is, the bug that we're working against here, is that we made these changes to the build file, but the old Gradle settings are still cached in Android Studio. So what we want to do is wipe out that cache, reload our project, restart Android Studio, and it's going to rebuild the Gradle settings based on the changes we made. So if I hit this shiny blue button, invalidate and restart, it's going to start up Android Studio. It'll restart my project. It takes just a moment. You can see it's scanning and it's going to rebuild some Gradle settings. Okay, and now, let me close the tip. Now we have a different thing show up here. Well, it's just taking just a moment longer. But this parse object, it's not imported automatically. We do have to import it the first time for whatever reason. But now it knows that it's there. So there we go. Once that syntax highlighting shows up, that's how we know we're good. But now if I hit Alt plus Enter again, that gives us the, oh, I'm sorry, that's actually not what I want. I think if I just hover over it, let's see. Okay, well, I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to remember what I did to have it get imported for us. And last time I did this, I didn't have to do anything special. So it's saying it still can't find it. Let's take a look. Let's just review our build Gradle settings. So compile, file tree, source libs. Oh, here we go. So I have it under source main libs. So I need to add that main directory here. Right. Okay, so let's try this. Again, we're going to have to invalidate the cache, unfortunately. So I'll do file, invalidate cache restart, and we'll give this just a moment to restart. While it's loading up, it's because it's going to take just a second again. I'm going to show a few resources to get some additional information about Android Studio. So just like we saw, there was a Google I/O video on the Gradle build system. There's another one on the What's New in Android Developer Tools. This is from May 2013, and it shows the Android team talking about what's available in Android Studio and some of the changes they've made and some that are upcoming. So this is a good video to get an overview. And then this Android developer named Don Felker created a series of short videos that are really helpful for getting started with Android Studio. So you can see here, I highly recommend, if you're going to use Android Studio, take a look at these videos. Okay, it looks like Android Studio is back up. Close the tip, and now let's go back to main activity and take a look at our parse object. And there you can see, it showed up a second. Can't resolve, but if I hover long enough, you can see it's asking if it has the right package to import. So if I hit Alt plus Enter, that's what I was trying to do before, now it was a quick fix, it automatically imports com.parse.parse object, which is from that parse library that we added. Here we can drill down into com.parse and get it from there. Okay, so if you get to this point, now you can run anything from Parse, and if you're not familiar with Parse, we cover it in our Android project, Build a Self-Destructing Message App, and it's a third-party backend as a service that's fantastic. So now, if you take this, you'll be able to set up a project for use with Parse for the latest Treehouse Android course. All right.